Do you think that companies are capitalizing on nostalgia too much?
Dude, companies are capitalizing on whatever the hell they can grab onto. So yes, absolutely.
So when it comes to like
number 3 left.
what made me think of this this little like short topic is the recent drop of the Legend of Zelda Deku Tree Lego set. So it's sick. It's so sick. And it's stupid expensive for what it is.
Is it by Lego?
Yes.
Of course it is.
So it's a official Lego set, and it's just the Deku Tree. It doesn't look, it's not that big, and they want $300.
How many pieces is it?
It's not that
that's
much.
If you don't know how many pieces it is, you aren't a true Lego
I
entrepreneur.
watched people talk.
Do you love Legos?
I do, but I stay.
Well, then you should know how many pieces it is, bitch.
I stay away from.
Well, and I don't spend hundreds of dollars on Legos either.
It is.
But I'll say this much.
Oh my!
When it comes to building toys, Lego has their shit on lock. Like, that is their products. You don't ever find one that's missing a piece. You don't ever find one that doesn't go together right.
It's a 2,500 piece set.
That's huge. That's enormous.
But here's the thing. There's been other sets that are like triple the size of that are like half the price.
No way.
100%.
There's no way. Maybe not from Lego.
Yes, from Lego.
No way.
100%.
Nope. I don't believe it. You got to find it.
I'm not doing the research now.
Well, fine, don't. But
like,
so that's the thing, like, right? Like, if you look in context, Lego bases their prices off of the size of the set, not the physical size. Like, it can be super tiny.
What Lego does is they base their price based off the subject matter of the set.
Like, but also think of what Lego has to pay off of what they're making to Nintendo.
They have a R2-D2 that's definitely bigger than that. That's $200 to $250, I think.
I know what R2-D2 you're talking about, and I don't think it's actually bigger.
Dude, there's no reason that has to be $300. No reason whatsoever.
Other than, do you realize how much engineering actually goes into those things? Like, you're literally taking predefined blocks to build out that model, and then you have to build the instruction booklet in a way that a child can, or whatever age range can build it.
It shouldn't cost $300.
Lego R2-D2 is $240 brand new from Amazon. It has 2,300 pieces.
So it's 200 pieces less.
200 pieces less and $60 less.
Yeah. Again, why are you going to charge $300? And it doesn't look like a complex thing to put together. And you get the, Ocarina of Time link, which, like, if it was not...
Okay, the minifigure alone is crazy.
If it was not $300, I would snap by that thing. When I saw it, I was like, I am 100% buying this, no question. And then I saw the price, and I'm like, I am not. Yeah, I know that. Like, yes, I know. But that wasn't the price on release. That's the aftermarket price. There's a set that I think is from Lego Star Wars. It's like all but pushing $10,000, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's the new inbox Imperial Destroyer. So that's just it. Like, Lego, one, you've got a lot of effort going into that. So, and to be honest with you, human resources are probably the most expensive resource out there. No lie. Like, per capita, I could see that being the case, especially for somebody that's like an engineer. And, in the context of Legos, maybe you don't need an engineering degree to do it, but that, like, that's a special person. Like nobody, you can't just pull somebody off the street and say build this out of Legos and get that level of detail and all that stuff to it. So
Yeah.
by the time you extend out all of that effort over what they have to get paid and the benefits that they get from being a Lego employee and things like that, I think there's a lot of investment there. I think Nintendo's taking a good bit of that.
I think that set, if marked at $200, it's a much less salty price point.
I agree. But are people paying the $300?
Dude, if you need to know one thing about this stupid world that we live in, it is the reason that these things can get away with charging such a crazy premium is because there are whales that just buy it. And there's people that are just going to wait for it to drop, scoop up 1,700 boxes of them, and just start fire selling them on eBay for double, triple the price.
The other thing you have to keep in context is, let's say you're buying that set from Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one, I doubt Walmart's stocking that.
Probably.
Because it seems like a niche to a degree.
I feel like I haven't been in a Walmart in a long
Walmart's
time.
doing the Mario collection. I don't know if they're going to do the Zelda stuff.
Actually, I guess I was in a Walmart not too long ago because I bought the games when that was like a huge thing going on.
Right.
Which I wonder how that's going. I gotta check in on that.
But in the context of that, Walmart's markup on toys is usually between 60 and 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that Walmart is paying Lego, we'll say it's 100% markup. Lego is getting $150 for that set. So then Lego has to pay for all the R&D, all the production, all that stuff, the licensing out of that $150. By the time that's all said and done, what is Lego's margin? So I think part of it's the retailer. And the biggest piece, like you said, is that people are buying them. If people weren't buying them, the price would come down.
Yeah.
Like that's just simple economics. You're going to make more money selling 1,000 units at $250 than you will selling 10 units at $300.
I just think like these companies, and whether it's Lego or whether it's somebody else, when they release a partnership with whoever and they put out whatever and it's 2x what their original product usually cost, it's like,
well, and that's why it's
yikes.
bullshit, because you have these partnerships, and to me, I see partnership on a product and I think, great. Now I have to line the pockets of two companies with one purchase instead of one. And it's really greed driven in a lot of cases. Like look at Starbucks.
I see your belly.
My belly. Oh, my belly's sticking out. I wouldn't even pay attention. My fat ass.
Everybody got that one's free.
The next one's $5 per
square inch
to Venmo.
All right.
I take Cash App too. And PayPal.
Dude, PayPal is the only one that I trust.
I trust them all.
I don't trust any of them.
Transfers money, whatever. Money's fake. Money is a figment of your imagination. It's a number on a screen and on a piece of paper.
Pretty much.
But yeah, like Starbucks literally, based on their profits last year, I think it could afford to give every employee they have a $10 raise and still make like $8 billion.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started.
So,
on like massive, huge companies, and CEOs, and
well, that's just it. Margins right now are disgusting. It's all piggybacked off of the COVID situation, where, granted, right after COVID, did prices have to go up because they were struggling because they couldn't do anything for practically a whole year? Sure, but it's this perpetual thing where we can be, as consumers, convinced that, oh yeah, this is inflation, and to a degree some of it's inflation, absolutely. Mm-hmm. To the other degree, it's simply the company saying, well, here's an opportunity to increase our price margin while we can, in preparation for whatever's coming.
Yeah.
and I don't think that's right.
No, I don't. I just think that, you're hitting a market with, whatever product that you're putting out that is hitting my nostalgia or, the people that are in my age group, their nostalgia too. Don't make us have to, don't make our wallets cry. Like, you can make them, sob a small, shed a tear or two. I can live with that. But when you're, coming out the gate with, this massive premium, and I'm just like, dude.
So there's
No.
something to be said for still doing honorable business.
Yeah.
People recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
In today's world, they seem to care about it significantly less than they used to. But let's take it back to a foundation. Gas. Right now, the average gas price in America is $4 a gallon.
So insane.
It's never going down.
No.
And it's simply because regardless of whether they start drilling here, whether they don't, whether we import from OPEC, whether we, get our gas from Texas and Alaska, whoever is selling it knows we will pay that.
Yeah.
They know that we need it, that we're dependent on it, and that we're not going to do a damn thing about it. Maybe you get somebody who has some honor that's like, oh, well, let's sell it for less than this, and we go down to $3.50 a gallon average.
Yeah.
But it's never going back under $2 or $3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling that now. So
do you we'll close out on this with honorable business and people that are just willing to work with people. Is I don't want to put the stores on blast, so I will say store number 1. That is a store that is close to me. When I went down to them before and I saw a game that was very overpriced that I wanted to buy, I said, hey, the market price is here. I'd be willing to pay this for this game. Not an unreasonable offer for them. I know that they have a little bit of a markup because they have things to pay for. They have employees to pay for, etc. I understand that. This game was marked up $40 more than it's worth, which is just insane. I said that I'd be willing to pay this. It was a pretty clean copy. I wanted it. And they came back and they were like, we can go here. And it was $10 off what they had. And I was like, that's still just way too much. I said, I could just go somewhere else, or I could go on the internet and buy it. I don't like being that guy where I'm like, well, I can just go to eBay or whatever.
So was it a used game?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So that can be a couple situations from my perspective. One, either the buy-in was a bad deal and somebody screwed up on it. Mm-hmm. They have too much in that game and they don't have that much room on it. Or two, I think is the point that you're about to hit. They didn't care.
They didn't care because they knew that somebody was going to walk into that store and pick it up regardless.
Well, and here's the thing with that. Regardless of whether it was a bad deal on their end, where, say a new employee didn't realize what they were doing, they graded it wrong, they, identified it wrong, whatever the case was that they spent too much on it, the right thing to do is not to pass that mistake on to the consumer to absorb.
It puts a bad taste in my mouth as a customer of wow, you're marking this game up X amount and you're not willing to work with me here. So then instead, I went to one of my favorite stores. I will shout them out. Game Traders Club in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Went there and I bought 3 games. The total came out to X amount of dollars.
$500-600.
Definitely not that much. I think it was
for the games you're buying?
It was sitting around $200.
Damn, boy. You bet $200 to spend on games.
So, I looked at what they had marked, and I adjusted accordingly of what I would have liked to pay for them, reasonably from a store. I said, I forget what I calculated to be. I think I shot at him. I think I said 150 because one of the games was a little rougher, but it was a game that I really wanted. One of them was mint. That Zelda 2 was really minty. I knew I was going to pay up for that one. And I don't remember the third game, but it was like kind of right around it. So
Do I get to wager a guess?
I did the math.
Do I get to wager a guess?
Go ahead.
I'll bet he said I'll meet you in the middle.
No.
Oh.
He said 160 and I'm in.
Damn, he went less than the middle. Good man.
Yeah. The difference between those two stores, one may look a little nicer and be a little more presentable. The other store cares about the customer and cares about them coming back repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
Building relationships, because when you build relationships, people will ask for specific items. When these specific items come in, hey, I got a guy that I know I can sell this to, or I'm going to buy this a little bit higher than I normally would because I know it's going to sell like that. The stuff that they get in up at Game Traders Club is nutty. For the kind of store that they are, where they're located, and just the people that I know that work there, like, the stuff that comes in is wild, dude. Wild. For a game store like around here, it's wild, the stuff that they get. And they continue to get it. Like, they get some really, really, really rare stuff. And it's, like, completely out of left field. So, it just really shows that if you care about your customer and you're willing to even willing to throw them a bone every now and then, even if that's a little lower than I would normally go, but dude, I've seen you in here multiple times. I'll do 150 for you, or whatever the deal. Especially when you buy multiple items and you're willing to work like a bundle deal, that's even better.
Well, and I mean, it permeates multiple different industries.
Yeah.
Like, this is a problem everywhere. I had to seek out a service recently, and I looked at two different service providers, and one was literally double the other.
Yeah.
And I pointed out to them...
This is what we talked about earlier?
Yep. Okay. And I pointed out to them, I was like, hey, you are literally charging double than some of your competitors in the area.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've basically priced yourself out of contention, at least for us. And she was just like, yep, you're correct. That's what we charge. Thanks for reaching out. And in the context of what this was about, to me, that was like
it's insane.
Are you really handling it that way?
It's insane.
Yeah,
especially
it's
with that kind of service. Like, come on.
Yeah. And it's simply because it's the only one down there.
Did you end up going with the...
Yeah, well, I'll tell you all about it.
Okay.
But I just wanted to point out that, like, that's a case, a perfect use case analysis of how it permeates multiple industries.
It's a matter of, like, hey, I can get this for this price here right now. Will you meet me around that number? Because you are definitely far off from that number. And they're just like, no, buy it or get out. And you're just like, all right. And then you just walk right down the street to their competitor and be like, hey, do you have a copy of this? And they're like, yeah, it's $50. And you're like, sweet. That's right around what it's worth. That's what I'm willing to pay. Boom. If they said it was $60, I had 50, they're at 60, I'll pay $10 more. What's $10? If it's a clean copy, sure. I get to have it in my hands now.
The damn shirt too big, too small, too big, too big, too small.
That'll be $5.